gonna need to know the name of the deity that I angered in a past life and how to fucking fix it. Because I am losing my mind a little bit because the same thing keeps happening to me no matter what I do to try to prevent it. And it's been happening for years of my life. The same thing over and over and over again. No matter what I try to do to mitigate, it always happens. I have been on dating apps for roughly 13 years on and off.
Time to get the fuck up off of dating apps.
I have never been on an actual date because
Stay away from the fucking dating apps.
I will match with someone, and I am so careful. When I am matching with someone, I look at every picture, I read everything on their profile, anything that gives me even the slightest like twinge of like, I'm not sure.
And you don't give that person a chance because you're not sure? Is everyone just like you? Does everyone agree with everything you do? How would you ever know if the second that you feel, what's the word that women say? The cringe? The ick? There's plenty of things I've seen girls that I found attractive that gave me the ick still. Not the ick. Because what is the ick exactly? The ick is like disgusted. There are a lot of things of women that I've been around that they've done some disgusting shit, right? For example, women are not afraid of blood. Like blood would probably bother some guys, right? When it comes down to talking about like shit that happens in the bathroom, they have no problem talking about the bathroom, right? They find that shit funny, you know. Well, at least the girls I was around, right? Like I'm taking a spooky dookie in the bathroom, and she's knocking on the door like this is Resident Evil 2, the old school edition. Like it was just straight horror. Like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, oh, what's going on? Are you okay? You want to hold my hand? You want to hold hand? I'm like, no, you know. So, and again, that would be considered disgusting. Funny, but disgusting. So, what are we talking about here?
I'm like, I don't want to get into something with somebody that I'm not sure about from the beginning. Like that already gives me a weird vibe. I am very
If you don't give people a chance, you shouldn't be complaining. So it's not like as though she hasn't had options. She's she's complaining about being alone when she's had options. This is the main difference between men and women. 70% to high 70% of men don't have options and they just fucking sit and deal because that's what society expects of males. We just deal with it. Even at young ages, when I was young, I sat there and I thought about it. I was like, what happens if I don't get married? What happens if I don't find my special person? And you just fucking deal with it. You don't get to crash out.
very careful about who I choose to interact with. And I'm also super intentional about what I put on my profile. I make sure I put my politics on there. I make sure I put like my hobbies. I am a fat woman, so I make sure I have a full body picture. You can see my arms and my belly and my legs. I'm in a tank top and shorts. You can see what I look like. And I am so careful. But that doesn't seem to matter. I will find someone that I like, that likes me back, we'll talk for 2 weeks. 2 weeks and I turn into a pumpkin, apparently. And I just get ghosted. Like, no response, no like, hey, this isn't gonna work for me, like have a nice life, nothing. They just disappear. And it happens every time, and it's been happening for years. And I just like I have gotten more and more careful and more intentional and more upfront about deal breakers and asking about their deal breakers and making sure that like from the very beginning I am as open and as honest as I can be about things that might be a deal breaker for people. And like none of that is enough. And
Hot take. I'm gonna say some shit that people are probably not gonna like. Her being overweight does not stop her from getting into relationships, and she's using that as a crutch. A man being overweight and a woman being overweight, it's not even close. Again, women are put up on a higher position than men by default. Even though, yes, men are expected, it is normal for a guy to have more mass on a guy, right? Or for a guy, when a guy is overweight, it's normal, right? You sit there and you go, damn, when a woman's overweight, it's a fucking tragedy, right? But that doesn't stop them from dating. And I'm listening to this woman talk, and I'm just being reminded of a girl that I dated a while back, who me and her was dating. And I got with her because the guys that she was around, mind you, Black American, she was Dominican, she had Dominican friends, and they were all trying to fuck her. They were trying to see if she was easy. They were all trying to fuck her, and she ended up sliding on over my way, and we ended up talking, and I treated her nicely. And in the end, and mind you, heavier set girl, nice titties, very nice titties, right? But I treated her nice or whatever like this. You know, I'm over here. You got dudes trying to talk to her. We went to like an arcade or whatever like that. I'm over there doing my Dance Revolution shit. I don't hang on to the bars. I ain't no bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing. She's sitting there watching me. You know, it was raining before that, and you know she didn't have a. She was trying to look pretty for the little trip that we was on or whatever like that, but she didn't have shit when it was raining, so I let her use my hoodie. How was I supposed to know that that was gonna be what set the events in motion? Anyway, she was with me. There was still dudes trying to talk to her before, still dudes trying to talk to her during, and when she did what she did to me, when we ended up breaking up, she still was in another relationship. So again, it's not like as though, and mind you, throughout my entire life, white, Spanish, black, there's always been girls, right, who are heavier set, who are heavier, who are in relationships. So that's not a fucking excuse. So I'm just tired of it because that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse at all.
I I know people meet people and get married from dating apps. Almost all of my friends have met someone on a dating app and gotten married and had children in the last 13 years.
Stop comparing yourself to other people. You shouldn't be doing that. You can't judge everybody's engine by their paint jobs. What did they do to get there? There's probably different things to get there. For you know, one of your friends could have been a whole ass whore and lock down some fucking poor dude who doesn't know about her history. Or maybe some girl just looks more attractive. One of your friends looks way more attractive than you. Did you ever think about that? Maybe her personality stands out. And some guy found that to be something great. Maybe she shuts the fuck up when a guy tells her something that's important when it's a dangerous situation. She's not fighting with him every day. Yo, that look that I paused on is fucking insane. But yeah, she looked crazy right there. Holy shit, right? But there's a lot of things. There's a whole lot of things, and you're just putting it as people who were on dating apps who people who's on dating apps, and you just expect the shit to work out. Shit doesn't always work out for everyone.
And they've only gotten on dating apps because I've been on there. They're like, oh, well, you do this, so I'll do it too. It'll be like a fun thing we'll do together. Every single one of them is a success story, except for me. I can't even get to a date. And, like, it's actually driving me crazy. This guy I was talking to for 2 weeks. It was going so well. Or at least I thought it was. I thought I was as upfront and honest as I could be. I thought he knew what I looked like. That's the only thing that could possibly have been a deal breaker is my body. And like, that's fine. Everybody has preferences. But I put my body on my profile so people know what I look like before they start talking to me. This guy, we FaceTimed, and he's like, when was your last relationship? I was like, I've never been in a relationship.
I just peeped something. Why does she have like the fucking DJ style headphones on? What is she? There's no noise outside. Is she just loud and she has like hearing damage? Like why would you? Like for example, maybe she's recording something as well, and that's the no. The reason why do I have my headphones on? Oh, because I'm hearing audio while I'm talking, right? She's not doing that. She's just recording and speaking. She's not reacting to nothing or doing what? Listen, listen. I Man, I don't want to hear none of this. I'm sorry. I just when it comes down to using your weight as an excuse as a woman, it's just not something I'm following. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Relationship. He's like, oh my God, that's so timed. And he's like, when was your last relationship? I was like, I've never been in a relationship. He's like, oh my God, that's so crazy. Like, you seem great. And then he did what everyone always does. And I cannot figure out what I'm doing wrong. I cannot figure out what I could do better to stop this from happening. And it happens every time. So it isn't like, oh, well, that was like one guy. And I don't want to hear like, well, that's just how guys are, because again, my friends have met people and gotten married off of dating apps. Two men. So it's not a man thing. I just don't know. And I don't want people to tell me to like give up or just like be single. It's better. Like, I deserve love and happiness, because that's what I want, love and happiness, and I have so much love to give. And like, I have a lot to offer people. They just can't get past my body, which I don't want anyone that doesn't want me. But I'm so upfront and honest from the beginning. I cannot be more upfront and honest. I am so I'm so frustrated, and I'm angry, because I am as honest as I can be, and I am as intentional as I can be, and I am very careful with how and who I choose to interact with, and every single time it ends the same way. Even when I've been like, you know, maybe my rules are too rigid, maybe, you know, this is something that's maybe more of a...
There's nothing wrong with having rules or boundaries in X, Y, and Z as long as they're not fucking obnoxious, especially if you're trying to be with somebody. I don't. I mean, look, this girl can be just a sweet girl who just has the short end of the stick, but you pulling the short end of the stick over and over and over and over again. Maybe if you're sitting there, you're comparing yourselves to other people. Maybe if you're sitting there, and you're turning down people who could potentially be great people. Again, you've never been in a relationship and you're turning people down. Do you see how crazy? Do you hear how crazy that shit sounds? You've never been in a relationship. You're turning people down. There's nothing wrong with being careful about who you let into your personal space and all of that. That's the right thing. But here's the thing. This is just like the girl who was sitting there and she was talking about how she don't need a man for nothing. And she was talking to the interviewer, a dude, and she was like, "You think your mother needs your father for anything?" And the dude was like, "Yeah, the fuck that, what?" And she was like, women don't need men for nothing, X, Y, and Z. But and mind you, being really aggressive, really hostile. But in the end, she admits, she goes, "Oh, her ideal in the end game is her married, and she thinks that some guy is going to accept her fucking masculine, I mean super, like there's nothing wrong with a girl not being girly, right? That's fine, right? This girl is like, she's taking all the traits of all traits negative or toxic, any traits toxic that men can have, or just low quality men, or just trying to be hood, and it was the most disgusting shit I've ever seen. She still expects to get married in the end, and the way that she sums it up is, after hating men, after talking about all of the negative things men can do and women don't need men and X, Y, and Z, and she has her own paper and all of that, she still sees herself being married, saying a guy's gonna appreciate her straightforwardness. All of the negativity, all the negatives, she still comes out to a guy's going to accept that. A guy's going to accept her being loud, being aggressive, being hostile, being a fucking nuisance, being in his face, and she thinks and she wants to be married to the same thing that she hates. It makes no sense. With this woman right here, I wish her the best. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I ain't buying the whole "it's just your body" thing, because there are plenty of women who are overweight who, shit, they're just fine. Look at fucking Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer was married to a man overweight for years. The second she took that Omazep or whatever the fuck it was, she divorced him. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.